Hi everybody, my name is Maisy. Welcome to my channel. We do pick a card readings here, and today we're going to do a pick a card reading on what great thing is going to happen to me in the next 2 months for the rest of 2022. I'm so excited. But first, we're going to take a minute to give a quick shout out to our sponsor today, Keen. This is an amazing psychic network, you guys. They have psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, mediums, you name it, Keen has it. I love this service. I think they provide great work and they're a legitimate place to get good readings. So I've paired up with them to do a collaboration here and give you guys a great discount on your first reading. So I'm giving out 10 minutes for $1.99. So that's a 10-minute reading for just $1.99. You can find the link that you need to go to down below in the caption. And yeah, I hope you love it. So back to our reading. What great thing is going to happen to me in the next 2 months for the rest of 2022? We're just kind of looking at 2022. How is it going to go? What's going to happen? I have 3 cards in front of me with major crystals on top. I tried to choose like really fun and nice looking crystals to resemble like the great thing that's going to happen. So take a look at the crystals in front of you. Pause the video if you need to. You can take all the time in the world. Just pick whichever one jumps out at you first. Don't overthink it. And once you're ready, just click the timestamp below and I'll meet you at your reading. Welcome to your reading. This is for everybody who chose this clear quartz here. It's pretty gorgeous. Makes me feel so happy just looking at it. Okay, so I have like a theme card for your reading. We have the sun here. I love this card. It just means to me like the sun is happiness. It's just joy and faith in the world and just really good times. I'm going to leave this here to sort of resonate with us during the reading. I am just going to pull cards here and see what we get. Okay, we already got one. Just to see what's going to come up in 2022. We'll keep those to the side here. By the way, this is the Tempest Tarot deck. If you like it, link to buy it's below. It's one of mine. I love it. We're going to pull just a couple more. Okay. All right. So I always read these in the order that they fall out because I feel like that's just the way that the story goes. So give me a second as I do this. Okay, so let's just read out all the cards here. We have Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, lots of reversals here, Eight of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, literally all reversals, the Hierophant reversed, and the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so I'm actually going to lift this up a little bit because I feel like we need a better view. Okay. All right, so when we have a lot of reversals, it definitely usually points to our inner self, like what's wrong inside. It's not usually about like the outside forces, it's more about what we're figuring out within. And remember, not all reversals are like generally bad. They all have different meanings, but it doesn't mean that like reversals are bad and like uprights are good. So with that in mind, the Queen of Pentacles here, that says like issues with self-worth, like a little bit of sadness going on, uncertainty, feelings that like we're not worthy or we're not feeling beautiful right now. There's just a lot going on inside your head that seems to be surrounded around not feeling good enough. And so that's kind of this may be how you feel right now and maybe why you want to know what's going to happen in the next 2 months. That's good because you need a little booster, you know. The Hermit reverse says it's that you're pulling away from people right now, that you're looking for something bigger. I feel like you're just looking for something to latch onto, something to have faith in. That's where the sun comes in. It's just feeling a little down, a little melancholy and not sure how to turn it around. The Eight of Pentacles reverse says that you're putting a lot of work or a lot of effort into work in order to find this sort of revivement, I guess. But that's not really happening. It's not really working for you. I think that you're just kind of draining yourself more. So these cards all seem to go together for me in the sort of now area. The 9 or the 8 of Wands is typically a card of inspiration. So basically it's saying if you want inspiration, it's time to start something new. So the next 2 months, I think that something new is going to be coming your way, and you might instinctively go, it's not time. Like, I don't want to take that big of a risk or that big of an opportunity. It's not the right moment for me. But I want you to rethink that. I think that that part of the sun's energy comes from this idea that there's more out there, that there's like faith in something bigger than ourselves. So yeah, I think that the opportunity comes your way. You might instinctively go, I don't know, it's too much. I don't know, it's out of my comfort zone. That's what the Hierophant says. But in the 3 of Cups reversed, it just makes me feel like you're pulling yourself outside of friendships, outside of those friend support. And I think that it's time to branch out and to take this new opportunity and push yourself, There's a lot more out there. I think that there's just so much out there for you, and you're getting an opportunity in the next 2 months to make something bigger than yourself, and I think it's time to take it. Let's pull, I feel like we need to pull something else. We have an oracle card, an oracle deck here. It's like astrologically themed. I'm also going to pull some dice. I think I'm just going to pull one card from there actually, and then maybe we'll do something from this like magic spell deck. I haven't used this deck actually ever, so we'll see what happens. And we'll just see what comes up for you. I think it'll be interesting to see how we can get sort of out of this like darkness that you feel and into something that's more positive. Okay, so we got Chiron. That's the asteroid of deep healing and childhood wounds. So it does look like you're latching onto something. Something needs to be healed. That's kind of where this lack of self-worth comes from, and this lack of energy right now. Whatever is happening in the sky or at home is affecting your major wound, whether you realize it or not. This is the magic deck that I have, and we got Divine Spirit, which I think is so interesting because it is very much about optimism and faith in something bigger than ourselves. So I'll just read a couple lines out here for you. Magical tools are aids for harnessing energy, both without intention, and Divine Spirit, they are powerless. So basically, Divine Spirit is the access point to the change that we want. It gives us an example here. During the full moon, explore how your spiritual path has developed over time. From childhood to present day, taking note of moments when you felt tested by the universe and magical possibilities felt out of reach. This is so you right now. This is exactly what you're feeling. I feel like, how do you connect to Divine Spirit and renew your soul with magic? This is all part of having faith in like the bigger divine entity, because I feel like you are being tested by the universe right now. You're feeling those wounds. You're feeling a lack of motivation to live and to be and to do. So I think this is really important. One last thing, we can have one last little bit of advice here with the astrological die. Okay, it says Moon and Gemini in the first house. So we got Moon, Gemini, first house. I just think that means that, first of all, we bring the moon into the first house. We bring our emotions into the personality, the ego. Identify the ego with our emotions, because sometimes they can miss one another. And then Gemini is not necessarily a feeling zodiac sign as much as it is a mental, quantitative almost zodiac sign. It's about identifying patterns, themes, like connections. Gemini is the connector of the zodiac. It's the communicator. It's the one that makes connections from A to B. So I just think that like it's time to think about your emotions in terms of how it's affecting your ego. So, and then identifying the path or the trigger there. And then using that to understand like why you feel trapped, why you feel disconnected from the overall sense that, you know, good is coming. I just feel like there's a lot of downsized like anticipation for the future. Like you really want to want something, but you're feeling a lack of connection to the bigger entity at play. So all that's to say that in the next 2 months, you're going to be presented with opportunities. You're going to be presented with something that you've never tried before, that is big and bold and exciting. And I think you're going to at first shy away, but then you need to realize where those emotions are coming from, why they're triggering for you, and do something that scares you because you have faith in the world around you. Okay, group 2, that's your reading. I will just spread these out one more time for you. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Hey group 2, welcome to your reading. This is the Amethyst group. Pretty great. Okay, what do we have here as sort of your like energy cards? That's kind of what I'm calling them. We have the 8 of Cups, so letting go of something emotionally, and we have the 6 of Wands, which is a card of success. So looking at these two together, I think we're letting go of something emotionally that's held us back, and in doing so, we find success. In doing so, our dreams are more reachable, or they seem more plausible. I think that there's a lot of emotional weight going on here, and that you're going to be able to finally let go of something or someone that's holding you back, and you're going to find success in that process. So that's kind of where we're starting with. Let's see what we have for the reading. But that's already good right there. I mean, I'm excited that letting go of dead weight is so healing, honestly. So I think that's great, especially with the eclipses going on. That is all about getting rid of dead weight, moving towards your more aligned and more destined path. So we're going to pull a couple cards here, see what we get. By the way, this is the Tempest Tarot deck. If you like it, the link to buy is down below. It's one of mine. I love it. So, got a couple here. What good thing is coming to group 2? Okay, I think that's probably enough, but maybe we'll just pull one more. Wonderful. Okay, so I like to read these in the way that they came out. I'm going to try to remember exactly how they fell on the table. We'll see. Okay, I think that it was all that way. So we have 2 of Wands reversed. Oh, that's already an interesting sign right there. The Queen of Swords. 8 of Pentacles reversed, the Hierophant, 6 of Swords, another interesting pair, Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, and the Sun. Okay, so I love that we're transitioning, like the story transitions from like thinking, wondering, letting go, and then we have the happiness cards at the end. So let's just read these one by one. The 2 of Wands reversed tells me that you might be in a relationship right now, or working with someone right now whose ideas or visions don't align with yours. This could be a partner, like I said, but it can also be like a family member who's really pushing you to enter the family business or something like that. They want a dream for you that you don't want. So that's kind of what this vibe is, where 2 people their ideas and visions are clashing. Like they're not aligned in the way that is progressive and helpful for you. So The Two of Wands reverse says that's what you're dealing with right now. The Queen of Swords, however, says that you have like an independent outlook on this. Like even though you know you might be disappointing someone, you still will not let go of what you know is right for you. So I think that you have a very strong personality and a great attachment to what you need. So that's great. I love that you're not willing to bend, you're not really willing to sacrifice what you know you need in your life. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Eight of Pentacles in general is a card that says we're working hard to get to an end goal. In a reverse position, it means that we can overwork or that we can like try too hard. And I think because this is an earth card and this is an earth card here, we're in fact, yeah, and we're both like, they're both connected in the way that I'm thinking. So we have overworking, and then we have duty to our pillars. Like the Hierophant for me is all about what we grew up believing. The structures that we had in the process of growing up, those are our pillars, right? So that would be like family values or religion or traditions, politics even. Like those are the things that we are surrounded with as young kids and we're taught to believe as the structure. So Eight of Pentacles, I think, even though you have your ideas and you're like set in your ways and you know this isn't working and yet you're not going to change, I still think you're trying too hard to like appease and to fit in. I just feel like there's a lot of family going on. It seems less partnership and more family, although it could be both. If it is a partner, it might mean that like we're having different visions on marriage, on the pillars that we believe that families should have. So like kids or marriage, like the traditional monogamous kind of marriage, like that might not align with you if you're in a partnership and this is resonating with you in that way. If it has to do with family, this can be like, again, the family business or whatever. But the idea here is that even though you still have your thoughts and your like independent ways, you're still trying to appease this other person. Like you're still trying to find some compromise or trying to lean into what you know you're supposed to do, like what you should be doing, quote unquote, and that's not being helpful, or that's not helpful for you. So this is part of getting rid of the dead weight. The whole point of the Eight of Cups is to get rid of something that is really hard for us to let go of. And this kind of stuff, the monumental release of everything that we've grown up to believe is part of that tragic loss, because you are in some way releasing yourself, you know, like releasing an old self and a part of you. So it's hard to do. So I think that this is, in the next 2 months, you're going to be like figuring all this out. Like you're going to start realizing that you're people pleasing, that it's not working, and that the only way to move forward is to release. And that's where the Six of Swords comes in, which is a card of release. It's a card of forgiveness too. So yes, you know, like we're moving on and emotionally this is good for us, but we also know to forgive ourselves, like that this decision is a hard one to make, never easy for anybody, and you've chosen right. So I don't know, I think that you decide to move on from this. You've decided to move on. You've done enough of this back and forth. You choose yourself wholly and entirely, which is awesome. And you, I love that swords are resonating here together. You choose yourself, and then you're proud of it, you know, like you just let it be. And then in doing that, I think another good thing that comes out of this, like, yes, okay, that's somewhat bittersweet. I know, like it's not necessarily a good thing, but I think it is a good thing. And it leads you to this Ace of Cups here, which is like a new relationship, a new beginning. And if this is about a partner, letting go could lead you to someone else. So I love that, and we might see that come up in the next 2 months, a new relationship forming. Or if it's not a new person, then it's a new relationship with this person. Like for instance, if it's a family member, then letting go of this like need to please or whatever could allow you to create a new relationship with that person in a way that like makes sense for everybody. And that gives you like ultimate happiness and fulfillment, like embracing yourself, embracing what you need. That gives you peace of mind, clarity, and just complete and utter happiness. That's what the Ten of Cups is. And the Sun is a card of just positivity and hope for the future. So I think that like all of that has led up to this spiritual release almost. So I kind of want to figure out what this Ace of Cups is. And I want to do an oracle pull on this, like from the Seasons of the Soul deck. It's basically like a soulmate deck, showing thoughts of people. So what is the Ace of Cups person thinking? I love I just literally talked to the cards. I did not mean to do that out loud. But basically it says, we are in new territory. That's what I was ahhing about. Because this is new territory. This is a whole new relationship. And I think this is, and it says, I treasure our time together. So I think this is a person that we know, not a new relationship. I mean, it could be both, but still, I think it's just like reconciling, finding a way back to one another or finding a new way to relate. I also, let's think about what kind of, let's do like an advice roll from the astrological die here. Okay, so we have 8th house. I love that. That's literally letting go. Like that is death in order to be reborn. It's the Scorpio house. It's great. And we have it in Scorpio. Sorry, it meaning the North Node. So North Node in the 8th house in Scorpio. And North Node is all about fate. It's all about what's coming to us later in life. It's about future lives as opposed to past lives, for example. So I love that. I just think that like, what to do. This is obvious because the node here is coming up. And this is especially if you're going through the eclipse axis where you're in the 8th house, or it's like a 1st house, 7th house thing. I just find that the nodes coming up right now specifically. I know that this is a timeless reading, but if you're doing this at the time that I'm posting it, eclipse season is huge right now. So having nodes here, it just makes me feel like there's something fated happening and you need to listen to those instinctive pushes, okay? Whatever is instinctively pushing you, you have to listen to it. Okay? Thank you so much, group 2. That's your reading. I'm just gonna like spread out the cards a little bit here for you to see. I will see you next time. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. The rose quartz is calling you, obviously. What a great stone. Love it. What do we have here for 2022? We have the King of Pentacles. That's so awesome. Like that just to me says like wealth and stature and loyalty and just stability. That's great. And I love that we have the rose quartz here, which usually symbolizes love or self-love. Maybe we're achieving more than we thought we ever could in the last 2 months. Maybe Q4 is going really well for us, or maybe we've found the most loyal, stable partner ever, finally. So yeah, it just seems like a lot's going on here. Let's pull some cards to see. I'm going to keep him up here as a little emblem for this reading. We're going to pull a couple cards and see what we get for group 3. Okay, we got one so far. The cards are jumping out. They're falling all over the place. Okay. All right. By the way, this is the Tempest Tarot deck. So if you enjoy it, there's a link below to buy. It's one of mine. It's a great deck. Okay, we're going to pull just a couple more. All right, so I usually like to do this in the way that they were drawn. And I don't always get this like 100% right, but whatever it ends up being is the way it's supposed to be. So we have the Seven of Cups, the World, interesting, the Nine of Swords reversed, Temperance, the Devil reversed, the Four of Swords, and the King of Wands reversed. Okay, so really interesting stuff. The Seven of Cups is always a cue to me to think about toxic relationships with people or with something within ourselves being revealed or being shielded. But the thing is, we've got a lot of toxicity going on in this spread. We have the Nine of Swords, we have the Devil, and then we have the King of Wands in a reverse position. All of those things say to me, something is off, something's amiss. But when the Seven of Cups is upright, the Devil is reversed, and the Nine of Swords is reversed. Those are all positive ways of these cards coming up. The Seven of Cups in an upright position says that we are aware that something is taking our attention. We're aware that we aren't fully there, like we have love goggles on, or we're uncertain of someone's intentions. They may be lying, they may be deceitful. We're starting to see through the veil, if that makes sense. So I think that that's kind of where you're at right now. You're wondering, you're questioning, you're thinking, how is this actually playing out? Like, this person seems too good to be true, that kind of stuff. The World says that you've gotten to a place with whomever we're talking about. I really think this is about a relationship, but the World says we've gotten to a place where we're getting to the end of the chapter. Like, we've dated for a long time and now it's time to make it a thing. We've been boyfriend, girlfriend for a long time. Now it's time to move in. So the World talks about closing chapters. You are about to close a chapter with this person, but you're wondering, you still wonder about their intentions. In fact, you have been back and forth going, back and forth and with anxiety around like what this relationship is, what's going to happen next. And the Nine of Swords first says that you just are letting go. You're letting go. You're able to manage your emotions. The Temperance card is about emotional management. So keeping our head keeping our head out of our heart, keeping our heart out of our head. That's kind of like what I see Temperance as. And I think that it's helping you to stop the anxiety so that you're able to think clearly about what the hell is happening here. The Devil reversed ultimately says that like we're healing from past trauma. So it could be that you're getting close to the end of a relationship with someone and then an ex comes in. This is the ex. And you're realizing that you've done enough healing to be able to let them go. I kind of feel like that could definitely be a situation for some of you where you are in a relationship with this person, this like amazing person. You're coming to the end of a chapter, but there's still some illusions, some like thoughts about exes even, or ex. And the ex comes into the picture, I think, in the next 2 months. And you realize in that moment that you've healed, that you don't need this, that you're so happy here. That's kind of what I'm getting. The Four of Swords says, or just urges you to take time as this person approaches. King of Wands, this is about time. This is about like not acting, basically. So as the King of Wands approaches, try not to make big moves or swift moves right away. You are allowed to take your time. If they're like, hey, let's catch up, you don't have to be like, for sure. You can say, let me think on that. And that's fine too. You don't have to make it big. I think I almost just burnt my card. The King of Wands. Wands are the suit that resembles passion and thoughts for me. So when the King of Wands comes up, I always assume that this person is a sweet talker, that they're able to get into someone's thoughts, get into someone's passions if they want to. yes, charmer, sweet talker, that's nice and everything, but in a reverse position, this can mean manipulation. So I think that there's some manipulation going on, and that's why it's going to be hard for you to not act, but you're going to have to. And I think that you should think about that before you do anything. Let's talk about let's pull some astrological cards to see kind of what's at play in the sky, or what kind of energy is happening. So we have 12th house and Cancer. I still want one more card. Okay. So we have Cancer, 12th house, and 5th house. Okay. Fifth house is dating. 12th house is past trauma, the stuff that needs to be healed, the stuff we keep from ourselves. So someone that you were dating is bringing up that past trauma. And that's kind of where I'm seeing that King of Wands here. Another interpretation here is that as you're dating this person, this good person, as you're dating this person, the trauma that from the past from this person is coming up. And Cancer is moody, and Cancer keeps things in, but Cancer also holds grudges. So I think that there's unresolved trauma or unresolved feelings from this past that you need to figure out. I would love to draw, I'm going to draw another card for this King of Wands. What would he say? What would this person say? And let's do this where we do, what would this person say? And what would this person say? 2 cards for each. So let's pull for the King of Wands. It says, I think about you constantly. Cool. That just, I feel like that just says, that's kind of leading a horse to water. No, it's kind of assuming that you're going to take action, but you don't. And then I don't understand this connection. So it's he's I think about you all the time, and maybe we should think about this, but then there's no solutions. You know what I mean? This person, let's pull a card for them. Well, we have, I'm sorry I hurt you. Maybe it's the fact that this person usually is quite stable and they've done something where it's spurred your anxiety wheels, and now you're thinking back on what you've missed with the sex or whatever. That's very common, I think, but there's another card here that says, you have changed me. So I just think that this is a really solid relationship. There's apologetics, there's responsibility being taken. This person knows what to do. This person's the child. So I think that I hope this brings some clarity. The point is, in the next 2 months, a lot of this is going to be becoming clearer for you. You're going to be able to figure this out. Eclipse season is happening, and it can confuse and muddle everything. So I totally wouldn't be surprised if this is all coming up for some people. I'm going to do one last little draw here with the astrological die on advice, what to do now. Ha, that's funny. We got Cancer again. So we have Venus, Cancer in the 11th house. So I think it's time to, approach love with Cancer vibes, approach love with emotions, but also approach it with a friendship vibe, for both of these people. This person wants your love, this person's ready. So approach them Venus and Cancer style. Make them food, make them feel wanted, make them feel safe and nurtured and homey. For this person, approach them with that 11th house vibe. Still the same, motherly, nurtured, homey, but maybe more motherly instead of, romantically. But the 11th house is about friendship. So I think being able to stand your ground and saying, we're friends, that's it, is the best way to handle this when he comes up. And for this person, don't let them go. Okay, group 3, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I'm gonna pull out your cards one more time so you can see them. I hope this resonated. Please let me know in the comments and subscribe if you like. Okay, I'll see you next time.